No, I am not that old. Savage World is not 20 years old. Was it 20 years ago that I played Savage Worlds? No, what is it, 2023? That would have been 2013? God. Was it? Has it been 20 years? Wow. Doesn't feel like 20 years, but maybe it has been 20 years because I remember playing Savage Worlds when it first came out, but who knows? Anyways, you're probably wondering what I'm talking about. It is time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game crowdfunding projects that are coming to an end this week, but you lucky humans, still have a chance to support if it's something you want to. The Savage Worlds one is the only one that stood out to me. There's a couple others, but it's just sort of more of the same. I thought there were going to be some game store and convention ones because the opening line mentions game store and conventions, but there is actually no game store / conventions looking for crowdfunding. And again, I will say, if I'm going to 100% be behind something that I think you should crowdfund, it's going to be cons and stores. Anything that gets people actually on their feet, in the street, going to gaming conventions, meeting new players, new people, potentially getting sick, but worth it. Eating crappy food, staying up for 48 hours. But God, cons used to be fun. They're probably not as fun as they used to be because now people are getting beaten up and stabbed at cons. But enough of that. All right. So obviously the first one that's coming to an end this week is the Savage Worlds 20th anniversary mega bundle, $150, because Savage Worlds does seem to love those huge box mega bundles. They release smaller stuff for lower prices, but they also releases those huge old books, like the huge set they did for Rifts, the huge one they did for the Pathfinder. Apparently, Savage Worlds Pathfinder does Pathfinder better than Pathfinder did Pathfinder, and Pathfinder did Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 better than Wizards of the Coast did Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. So make of that what you will. Anyways, this huge box is $150. That gives you the PDF print versions and all these wonderful things. And you get 5 covers. So is that 5 different books? No, I think you can interchange the covers maybe, or they're like slip-ons, or you just get the artwork for the covers. You're only actually getting 1 book. But you also get all these cards and tokens and other things. So basically you're paying for the extra covers and these tokens and stuff. From Hunter's book, we have Geologist Primer by Double Proficiency. This is a source book, $20 for a PDF, to provide you with information on geology and how to use it in your game. So basically paying $20 for a book on geology, because there's a science that people spend a lot of time studying still. When was the last time you heard geology come up in that conversation, other than maybe high school and college? I don't know. Do people still study geology? I suppose there's still geologists out there. All those weird people who crawl into really tight caves. And you're just like, I would never do that. So yeah, you want to learn about geology? Sure. Why not? You could probably go to the library and get a book on geology or for free, or just look up geology online and then, do what Gygax did in Appendix N and just go, suspected properties of gems. Oh, feldspar, old wives' tale says cures bug bites. Why? How did somebody reach that connection? I don't know. But apparently, okay, I'm going to add that to my game. There's a list in the old D&D Dungeon Master's Guide in the Appendix M of what's the word I'm looking for? Possible uses for herbs and possible uses for gems. And there's all these things like I just said, like feldspar, bug bites. And you're just like, based upon old wives' tales and mythology. And, when you think about it now, you're like, how did somebody get there? Somebody picked up a rock and went, rock, I'm bleeding. Will this rock stop me bleeding? No, it didn't. Well, this rock stopped me bleeding. Hey, I stopped bleeding. This rock must stop bleeding. You think about it now and you're like, how? The amount of thought that would go into go, oh no, Susie's got the plague. What should I do? And somebody else is going, I don't know, just put this random rock on Susie and see what happens. From Legendary Games, we have another Monster book for 5e because remember, kids, when in doubt, make a Monster book. This is $29 for the PDF and print version. It gives you 150 sword and sandal monsters based upon mythology from Greece, Italy, Spain, and Portugal, but not Rome. So Cyclopes, Medusas, Hydras, that kind of thing. If you're looking for some Greek myth-inspired monsters, here you go. I mean, not that there aren't a ton of Greek myth-inspired monsters already for 5e, because there are. But here's some new ones for, 29 bucks. Or you could just go to the library and get a book for free on Greek myth monsters and just stat them out yourself. I'm just saying. From Elflair Games, we have Wasted Land, the Dreaming Age role-playing game powered by ogres or powered by orcs. This is a core rule book. $90 gets you the PDF and print version of both books, maps, and PDF and POD discount on the GM screen. Wasted Lands is a new fantasy cosmic horror RPG where mythology is being formed. Your characters are living the adventures that become legends, remembered for eons. 200 pages each book. Gazetteer. So sword and sorcery, first age fantasy. Your characters are creating the myths that the other characters will hear about 100 years from now. Sounds a lot like a couple other games, including the last 5e game I ever played in was sort of based upon this idea. I don't know what powered by orgs or powered by orcs is, other than maybe it's using the open role-playing orc from Paizo, except orc is not a game system. Orc is a creative content rule set. Okay, so cosmic horror, fantasy, first age type stuff. Cards from Jerry Joe Seltzer. He's given us a critical success and failure cards and tables. This is a source book, $12. Tables for nat 1s and nat 20s. There's always been tables for random shit that happen when you roll a nat 20. And then more recently, people are coming up with tables of random stuff to happen when you roll the nat 1. And this guy has done a table probably for attacks, it's spells. You never see enough spell criticals and fumbles and stuff like that. So $12 feels realistic. I mean, you get a PDF of at least 20 pages worth of these just random tables. What if I fail a arrow? What if I fail a spell? I could live with that. I think most people wouldn't want that, though, unless they're looking for an extra level of goofiness to their game. I mean, sure, you'd want something when you roll nat 20, but we know when the bad guys roll nat 20, you're like, no, I don't want that to happen to me. And definitely nobody wants a random chance to win their roll of nat 1 to have something blow up in their face, unless you're me, because I love these things. From Poly Fountain Media, LLC, we have Legends of Seer Knoll, the Dire Pack, a module for Dragonbane. This is for the Dragonbane system. What's that? Oh, it's Dragonbane is the game that Free League is constantly pushing right now. That is the fantasy role-playing game that they purchased from Europe and renamed Dragonbane. It used to be called like Demons and Dragons or something like that. It was very popular in Europe and Sweden in the old days of 80s and 90s, and then it sort of faded away, and then they repurchased it, and Free League has been pushing it so much that people are now allowed to release supplements for it. So this is $13, gives you the PDF and the POD discount version of the book, and it's basically an adventure and to push the Dragonbane license even further, entering new races, classes, and adventures set in the world of Dragonbane. From Studio Hex, we have Hellborn, a demonic cyberpunk. This is a game system similar to Disco Elysium, but it's powered by the apocalypse. It's a core rule book, $50 gets you the PDF and print version of the book. Your characters are in hell. Your goal is to use the technologies of hell to amass wealth, fame, and power. Social commentary and satire. So have you ever watched the YouTube animated Hell of a Boss or the one-shot, Hotel in Hell thing that the same guy did, Hell of a Boss on YouTube? This probably sounds like the Hell of the Boss, or how hell was pictured in Legends of Tomorrow when Constantine went to hell, all those different times to save Astrid. sort of hell as a endless city, where just backstabbing and shenanigans and just souls are currency type of thing. And instead of cyberpunk, it's demons cyberpunk. And then there's this thing. This thing is still being play tested / kickstarted. What's Old is New fantasy starter set. Fantasy modern sci-fi tabletop role-playing game using the What's Old is New starter system. $24 is now the most popular pledge to get you the PDF and the VTTs and the print version of the box set. This is the second edition of a game that people have said they've heard of, but never actually seen in public. The one guy did say he thought he saw it. So the price has definitely gone down. $24 for one of these box set things. That seems reasonable if you wanted to invest in a new mystery game. That is sort of GURPS, sort of Trinity. I don't know, but it's out there. And then, no mentions of conventions or game stores, even though the opening introduction says there's some new cons going up. So, anytime you see a con that's looking for support, I would definitely say, yes, support that con. Now, that said, the only thing that really stands out is the Savage Worlds. And maybe this, since it's been marked down to $24. It's already reached 34,713. Its goal was 6,000, so way to go. It's got 363 backers and 15 days to go. And what do you get? You get, for $10, you get the PDF. For $24, you get the PDF and the starter set and the VTT thing. That seems, it's 24 European dollars. I don't know what that is in American dollars. Well, it doesn't matter because, let's see. So it becomes $29 in European, which still seems pretty reasonable to get this mystery box game that nobody's heard of, but apparently is the second edition. If that was something you want to buy. I'm at the point now where if I'm not going to use it, I don't really want to buy it. I don't need a game just to read. There are a couple of things on my want list that I'd rather save up for, like I would love a hardbound version of The Slumbering Tsar. I'd love to replace my copy of Mutant Year Zero. So I don't really need this since I know I'm never going to play the game, but you might want it. So there we go. That's all the Kickstarters that are coming to an end this week. If any of those sound like something you're going to jump on, let me know. And then once you get it, let me know what you thought about it. Till then, I am the OG GM. No, this is not my real face. It is a computer animated version of me because the future. Please take a moment to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Other than that, I will talk to you all later. Have a great day. Get off my land.